It's do or fail. The clock is ticking. Every decision feels like a gamble. Every move carries weight. One mistake could cost you everything. Let's dive in, where every decision shapes fate. On the sun-scorched savannah, a lone buffalo grazes, utterly oblivious that its destiny is being sealed from a distance. Concealed by the ochre grass, a pride of lionesses tracks its every motion with infinite patience. Every gaze is fixed. They are waiting for the opportune moment. Suddenly, the air itself seems to hold its breath. A silent shuffle, and then the signal is given. The pride erupts, transforming the landscape into a maelstrom of dust and claws. Confronting a Cape buffalo is a task not for the faint-hearted. To bring down such a behemoth, each member of the pride must play its part to perfection. One lioness dares to breach the gap first. Naira, the seasoned huntress who never shies from the crucible of the hunt. Yet even she knows this is not a battle to be fought alone. She needs Shadow, a trusted ally, the pride's lone male. But as the critical moment arrives, Shadow falters. He holds back, leaving Naira to face the sharp horns alone. The buffalo retaliates with savage force, tossing Naira to the earth. In an instant, the hunter has become the hunted. Naira scrambles to escape, but Shadow is nowhere to be seen. But it is a fleeting victory. Alone, the buffalo cannot withstand the entire pride. As Naira recovers, the lions regroup and tighten their seed. This time, there is no escape, and the scales of fate tip decisively in favour of the predators. As the sun climbs higher, painting the savannah in hues of orange gold, a great dark mass begins to move. It is the herd of African buffalo giants that together form a living wall of muscle and horn. The powerful buffaloes, while the females, though lighter, are no less formidable. At the heart of the herd, new life is sheltered. Calves only a few months old walk on unsteady legs, encircled by a protective ring of mothers and other females. In this vast shifting society, power is not seized by brute force. It is shaped by the passing of the seasons. Leadership is a mantle of wisdom worn by the most experienced of the lead females. She is the matriarch. Her horns, worn by a lifetime of trials, are not merely weapons, but a crown of experience. For etched into her mind is an unseen map. A chart of ancient riverbeds now turned to dust, and of secret subterranean waters that whisper only to her bloodline. She is the memory, the guide, the living history of the herd, and her burden is the survival of all. Of the restless fringes of the herd, the mature buffaloes form a living rampart. But not all eyes are turned outwards searching for danger. Here, another kind of power is stirring. He is a challenger. His horns, still dark and razor sharp, have not yet known the dry crack of a true contest for dominance. His gaze is fixed not on the horizon, but inward toward the established buffaloes. His ambition personified, a storm of muscle and testosterone waiting for his moment to break. In his young eyes, the scars of the old buffaloes are not badges of honor, but signs of weakness. The herd continues its journey. The sound of hooves, of heavy breathing, and the rasp of thick hide against hide creates a symphony of survival. And at the very heart of this world of giants, protected from ambitious rivals and predators alike, is the smallest life. To this newborn, the world is a forest of moving legs. Its life depends not on its own strength, but on the unbreakable bond with its mother and on the living fortress of the herd. It is the future, a fragile promise on unsteady feet. And for it, every dawn is a victory. As the heat intensifies, the herd's pace slows. They know a rest under the shade of acacia trees is near, but vigilance is never abandoned. Those social creatures, buffalo maintain a complex and not always peaceful hierarchy. Two giants, each nearly 2,200 lb of muscle and grievance, stand face to face. The colossal horns meet with a dry crack that echoes across the plain. The thick boss of horn where they fuse across the forehead acts as a natural shield, protecting them from the thunderous blows. These battles are rarely fatal, but the victor reinforces his position while the loser must quietly retreat. This is the unwritten law of the savannah, ensuring that only the strongest buffaloes maintain the social order and pass on their genes. Meanwhile, the rest of the herd remains unperturbed. Bold oxperkers perch on the buffalo's backs, picking off parasites in a mutually beneficial arrangement. As the sun reaches its zenith, the herd seeks out the sparse shade of the acacia trees to rest. Even now, their eyes remain watchful and their ears swivel, catching every suspicious sound. The survival needs of the herd must sometimes override any single bond. As night falls, the savannah's most cunning predators begin to stir. Lions, masters of the ambush, know that to bring down a buffalo requires strategy, not just strength. When danger is detected, the buffalo quickly form a defensive circle with their horns facing outward, creating a living fortress. Dawn reveals a depleted landscape. The dry season is at its peak and the migration in search of water and food becomes a test of endurance. The young struggle to keep pace with the herd while the old, their bodies scarred, begin to lag. But the herd does not stop. The collective memory of the lead females is the invisible map that guides them. They remember where water was found in years past. A legacy of survival passed from one generation to the next. Even in the face of adversity, the buffalo persist. Their robust bodies are capable of storing energy, and their metabolism is tuned to withstand periods of scarcity. In the vastness of Africa, the buffalo is not just a survivor, but a master in the art of confronting adversity with intelligence and solidarity. Under the twilight sky, the buffalo herd moves like a living river of strength and will. Their greatest weapon is their collective spirit. The ability to protect one another and adapt in a world where only the strong and the wise can endure. This is more than a giant muscle and horn. And so they walk on a river of life carved through a timeless land. These wild animals are more than just muscle and horn. They are a living testament to a simple, brutal truth that to survive, you must stand together. For the masters of the savannah, the day is not a time for action, but for a profound and strategic stillness. Every slumbering sinew conserves the explosive energy required for the coming hunt. These predators typically become active only as dusk descends. Their hunt begins at sunset and continues until dawn. At first glance, it may seem that securing a meal is no great challenge for the kings of the savannah. In truth, however, only 1 in 5 of their hunting attempts will end in success. So, when the opportunity arises, a lion can consume up to 66 wholes of meat in a single sitting. It doesn't even chew thoroughly, but swallows great chunks whole. If there isn't enough to go around, the hunter might eat only 11 to 15 pills. To secure the necessary amount of meat, they must exert a tremendous effort. It is why lions often appear so weary and are so frequently at rest. They can spend up to 20 hours a day doing just this. The lioness is much smaller than the male lion. Females of this species can weigh from 275 to 400 li, while males weigh between 330 and 570 li. Lionesses, however, are far more agile and tend to work as a team. Consequently, they are responsible for 90% of the pride's hunts. The females are also responsible for the young. Now, they are resting in an open space. These predators usually hunt from an ambush. Silenced, not by a challenge, but by a presence that demands respect. Through the trees, grey mountains take shape. Elephants. They move with the weight of ages, and for them, the king of beasts is merely a part of the landscape they command. A herd of elephants appears between the trees. They move slowly as if the forest itself is parting to let them pass. They pay no mind to the lions. To these wild animals, lions are just noise in the landscape. They are the powerful ones, and all know it. Elephants live in families. An old wise female leads as matriarch. She remembers where to find water, where to find salt, where the rains are falling. The herd communicates not just with sound, but with vibrations that travel through the ground. They can sense one another from miles away. After wandering near the pride, the elephant herd turns towards the open plain. They are heading to where the forest ends, to a place of importance, or perhaps simply continuing their journey. The waterhole at the heart of the savannah is a crossroads for wild animals. The quiet never lasts long. No sooner have the elephants left than a new procession arrives. First, the warthogs. They move with a spirited gait, their tails held high. Nearly everyone has an oxpecker perched on its back. These birds perform a vital service, cleaning their host's skin of parasites and tending to small wounds. Guinea fowl, as always, are everywhere. They weave between the legs of the larger beast, gleaning leftover morsels. And then a new wave approaches, wildebeest. Their herd is vast, dark, and perpetually on edge. They move in unison like a single organism. They are wary, sensing the ground in a constant state of unease. These wild animals are the grazers, who always know the price of a moment's attention. The warthog, a creature that looks as if it was sculpted from the earth itself. Its skin is rough, its legs short but strong, and a pair of long tusks juts out like weapons. It walks with its tail held high. This is no random gesture. In the tall grass, the tail becomes a beacon, helping its young to keep sight of their mother warthogs or grazers. But they will not refuse roots, tubers, fruit, or even carrion if necessary. It does not build complex homes. An old aardvark burrow will suffice. It will back into the burrow, leaving its sharp tusks pointing outwards for defense. Though it may appear cumbersome, a warthog can run at speeds of up to 30 amp to amp and becomes formidable when cornered. Vultures descend one by one upon the carcass. By midday, they are finishing their work. With their long necks, they reach into the skeleton using their powerful beaks. Occasionally, a brief squabble erupts, but it is quickly over. Each has its share in this ancient ritual. They are the land's undertakers, performing a vital ancient rite. In their bellies, a fierce alchemy turns decay back into life, neutralizing disease and purifying the soil. They are the silent guardians of the savannah's health. Its time will come later when the competition has thinned. When only skin and bone remain. The flock of vultures takes to the sky, leaving behind silence and a purified space. A giraffe approaches the waterhole. This is an artificial water source created to attract both wild animals and tourists. The giraffe appears to be adorned with a living necklace. It is a group of oxpeckers diligently picking parasites from its neck and back. This is an ancient and mutually beneficial alliance. The giraffe pauses its eyes, cautious. It knows how vulnerable it becomes when it lowers its head to drink. First, it cleans its nostrils with its long, flexible tongue. This dark purple tongue can be up to 18 in length. For an eternity, it scans the horizon. To drink is to surrender its greatest advantage, its height. It must perform a dangerous ballet, spreading its legs, lowering its magnificent head into the jaws of vulnerability. And in the shadows, the lions watch. They know patience is the sharpest claw of all. Beneath Africa's golden sunset, a creature emerges from the shadows. It is the African leopard. They are not the continent's largest cat, but they possess a potent combination of strength and agility that commands the respect of every creature nearby. The male leopard is a paradox of power. A ribbon of muscle stretching up to 7 feet, yet seldom weighing more than a man. It is a creature built not for sheer mass, but for devastating efficiency. Females, by contrast, are more slightly built, weighing from 62 to 132 pounds and standing about 22 to 25 in tall. This difference reflects a trait known as sexual dimorphism, an evolutionary process that helps each gender develop to enhance its specific survival role. As light filters through the canopy, the leopard's golden coat is adorned with its iconic black rosettes. Studies indicate their patterns are not merely for camouflage. They also reveal how this species has adapted to specific habitats across Africa. Leopards in tropical rainforests tend to have smaller, denser spots to blend into the shadows. While those on the grasslands have larger patterns. Their entire body structure is a masterpiece of biology, compact yet immensely powerful with muscular shoulders and legs. Though short, their legs are incredibly strong, allowing them to scale vertical tree trunks while still gripping heavy prey in their sharp jaws. A leopard is often seen hauling an antelope weighing twice its own body weight up into a tree. This is no act of bravado, but a strategy for survival. Even more astounding is their vast adaptability. This species can be found in most sub-Saharan regions. The ability to thrive in such a range of harsh environments makes the African leopard one of the most widely distributed big cats on Earth. Unlike lions that rely on prides, or buffalo that finds strength in numbers, the African leopard walks a different path. Silent, solitary, but devastatingly effective. That solitude is not born of necessity. It is in these wild animals' nature. Leopards do not live in pride. Each individual holds its own territory. A recent survey revealed their diet is incredibly varied depending on the ecological region they inhabit. In areas with abundant antelope or warthogs, those animals become primary targets. But they also hunt monkeys, reptiles, birds, fish, and insects. But what truly defines their hunting prowess is not just what they hunt, but how they hunt. Unlike predators that chase with speed or attack with brute force, the leopard stalks like a phantom, closing in on its target. They move until they are only about 16 ft away before launching a precision pounce. A single bite to the throat or the back of the neck quickly suffocates the prey, ending its struggle. This method helps the leopard conserve energy, a critical advantage for a solitary hunter. Observations at Kruger National Park show that most hunting occurs from dusk until dawn. This behaviour helps them avoid confrontations with more powerful competitors. Leopards also possess exceptional night vision and acute hearing. Biologically, their hunting success rate is not exceptionally high, at only about 38%. They do not always win, but they know when to strike and when to withdraw. Most importantly, they know how to keep what they have earned. In the wilds of Africa, leopards and lions are not allies. They are natural rivals. During the day, if a leopard happens to cross paths with a herd of buffalo, it would not even think of stopping. If the herd gives chase, the leopard can climb to a height the buffalo cannot reach. It then waits, watching for a moment of inattention from the herd to make its escape. What gives the African buffalo its moniker, the Black Menace, is not its social structure, but its reaction to danger. They are known for their aggressive temperament, unpredictable behaviour, and extremely powerful defensive instincts. Even when facing elephants, the largest member of the Big Five, they do not always back down. African bush elephants and Cape buffalo are often found together in areas with abundant water and grass. But during the dry season, when water becomes scarce, elephants tend to dominate, forcing buffalo to change their drinking times. However, the African buffalo has a presence of its own. An elephant might chase it away, but not with force. One elephant used its trunk to shoo the buffalo away, but the buffalo refused to budge. The elephant then lifted its leg and kicked the buffalo in the head. It was immediately met by a butt from the buffalo's thick, heavy horns. In another instance, when an elephant shooed a buffalo away, the buffalo turned and stared at the elephant. It was clearly not pleased. Seeing the black men standing its ground silently, the elephant backed away and stood still until the buffalo finally left. But does that mean the African bush elephant is timid? Subscribe to our channel and find out in the next episode.